Hey, quick order of business before the fun and games start. Urban Rugby America is an organization worthy of your attention and donations as it helps kids that are at risk through rugby, and it's not just on the pitch, it's off the pitch as well. Indeed, our very own John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer, highly recommends Urban Rugby America and is working closely with Urban Rugby America. But please, don't hold that against them. Urban Rugby America. Your donation can change a life. Here's the link where you can donate and find out more. And now to the fun and games.
I'm Carmen, and you're watching the Rugby Odds.
Hi, Fiver.
Sir, what's your name? What team do you play for, and what do you have to say?
Caleb Jones, Calebag Rugby, JBL.
This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained?
Welcome back to the Rugby Odds, and welcome to our stellar panel of King Gift Egbelu, the inventor of words, three-time Olympic Sevens coach Mike Friday, Irish rugby legend George Hook will be joining us later, and unfortunately, John Bradshaw Layfield was due to come on, the WWE Hall of Famer turned rugby advocate, but after he saw what Caleb Jones thought of him in the opening that you just saw, he wouldn't come out of the green room. So John's somewhere sulking, so we're going to plod on without him, and with that, I just want to turn it over to you guys for some just hellos and basic whatnots. Mike, what you look like you're seeing red.
I didn't see red. I saw a rugby incident. Beauden Barrett, Tadhg Beirne incident was just a rugby incident. There was no tackle. There was no foul play. It was just unfortunate that Beauden Barrett caught a ball that wasn't meant for him, and Tadhg Beirne just tried to hold his ground, and Beauden Barrett's head ran into Tadhg Beirne's shoulder. Tadhg Beirne didn't run into Beauden Barrett. So horrendous decision by the referee and the TMO in the bunker. Fortunately, the power of the 20-minute red came into play here, because that would have been an absolute catastrophe had it been under the old rules of a straight red. You know, human error is part of the game, right? And the referee and the boys got it wrong. That's fine. Like, take it on the chin. Only affected 20 minutes of the game, not all of it. Not all head contacts are foul play. Sometimes it is just unfortunate in a rugby incident.
I am stunned how civil you are with this. There's no F-bombs coming out of your mouth. But Mike, you're not wearing the chain and the sleeveless top anymore. So that's
not anymore. No, I'm not on the sideline. I've not got the hat on.
letting the refs have a few expletives hurled their way, but not really. Of course he wouldn't do that, ladies and gentlemen. Gift?
There's never been a time that I've ever truly believed that the U.S. would be amongst the least violent countries on the sporting field. We are becoming the softest country on the field, and I simply just don't know how to feel about that. We are Americans. We are rowdy, reckless. We have no couth. We're loud. We're supposed to be brutish. We're becoming, nice. We're letting people move us. Look, this has been a lot of disappointment from a week of sports over the last 2 weeks between LSU and now what I've gotten from USA Rugby. It's just, I'm hurting a lot here.
Well, I've always said that if I'm going to be on a team that loses 85-0, I'm going to be in jail for doing something. I'm going to be arrested.
That's all I ask. Look, we're violent people. Like, be that on the field. Be that on the field. I can live with bad offense. I can live with even a big score. I can't live with people coming off and feeling like this was such a good game. No, you should be limping.
Let's go back to when New Zealand first came to Soldier Field and played Team USA. It was a big differential in points, but Team USA laid it out on the line. Every single one of those guys hit. They had like 1,000 tackles.
You're right. It did feel like at least bodies were putting on the line. The one thing that we should at least have at minimum is hitters. There should never be a point where I'm watching somebody run, a U.S. person goes into the tackle, and then the person stays up and U.S. person bounces back. That hasn't existed in any time I've watched rugby with the U.S., and that hasn't really existed until I'm starting to see it now. And I'm sure a lot of this is young bodies.
If I have to interrupt you, because we have a video clip of a person that says he did that exactly to you. Let's look at what Caleb Jones, who also let Layfield have it. Let's see what he had to say about his game against King Gift Egbelu.
You scored a try against one of our panel members. What can you tell us about it?
It was against Gibb, but he played in Baton Rouge. I was in Memphis. Took ball on kickoff. I juked him, ran 60 meters untouched. At that point, Gift retired from playing rugby.
All right, Gift, what do you have to say about that now?
It's amazing the amount of false AI news that people like to put out there.
Are you saying that we created him?
That kid's had too many knocks to the head. Too many knocks to the head.
It's
That
too many.
clearly didn't happen.
Clearly, because whatever happened on that play, the next thing that happened was he woke up in his bed the next morning. Because this, I don't know where this came from. What 60-meter truck? What kind of craziness? Caleb, in what world? In what world? In what world? 7th? Nope. 15th? No. You know what? We'll do this again. We'll do this again.
The gauntlet's been laid.
You know, everything that comes out the internet is true. Everything that comes out of person live is going to be true, right?
We'll have to see it again. And Mike, before we leave the topic, though, of Team USA, I'm handing you the keys. You're the director of high performance or the general manager or the director of rugby, and you're the head coach. What do you do?
Again, I mean, I'm with you and we're Gift in terms of the physical piece. There are too many middle-class white kids from college on it. We need to embrace the cosmopolitan culture that USA has. Some of it is on our shores. Some of it is littered around the world with globalization, be through parents or being born here. You know, I don't think we're picking the best talent that's there. And ultimately, you know, don't get me wrong, big hitters like Danny Barrett, yes, they were boys from college and things like that, but they had what you needed.
They had broke hunger. Mike, I'll say it for you. It's called broke hunger. It is 100%. An incessant need to survive and being able to take that from the home into the field. And that is where the best athletes have always come out from. All right. You get the little middle, mixture in there. But if you don't have broke hunger in you, look, it doesn't work the same.
But I think that they're out there. They are out there, but they're not in the traditional college streams. Unfortunately, those days have gone. Going to have to work harder. Going to have to work harder on finding heritage, and if that means that you have to go abroad, you have to go abroad. I think that's the reality of rugby where it is now. When you're a tier 2 nation trying to find its feet and try and compete with the big boys, and they tried to compete with Scotland second team, and they were found wanting. Their skills were getting unpicked. They weren't able to react quick enough defensively. The Scotlands would get to the edges. You've got to get your players playing elsewhere. Like, I know the MLR is great, but I think it's a breeding ground, but you've got to get your best players playing in the best leagues in the world. And if they got the opportunity to play, be that Super Rugby, be it in the top 14 or the Pro Dur or the Premiership, they should be getting those experiences because, like you said, right, physically, the USA always used to be able to compete. Everybody is now very big. So now you need to be very big and very skillful and very powerful.
Yeah.
And the USA is way behind.
Yeah. Watching some of these units down on the field, seeing them warming up, and 1 through 15 or 1 through 23, if you will, all have handling skills. They all have some kind of nimble foot movement. You know, despite the size, despite the position, they all have all those skills. And our guys don't. All right, gentlemen, we have to move on, and we're going to skip over the What Caught Your Eye segment because we all know what caught our eye. It's the drama in the MLR, but we don't have time to go into it. So go to our partners, MLR Weekly, to see and hear about the MLR drama. In the meantime, we're going to go right to our Player of the Week. The nominees are Sasha Feinberg Mgamazulu, again, the number 10 from South Africa. 2 tries in the first half, 16 points, kicked superbly, controlled the attack, and defended well in a 61-7 destruction of Mike's pal Eddie Jones's Japan side at Wembley. Quinn Tupaia was physical on both sides of the ball, especially in the second half, helping New Zealand against Ireland in an unflattering match for the Irish in Chicago. Cam Roigard, the number 9 of New Zealand. One could argue that his forward pass to Beauden Barrett won the match when Tadhg Beirne was pinned with the yellow that was upgraded to red, but he was also very good on the pitch with big runs and a big foot, complimenting Barrett as an exceptional halfback pairing. Mike, who's your player of the week?
It's toughy here, right? But I'm going to have to mention somebody that's not on your list, Harry Potter. He was outstanding for Australia. He kept Australia in the game with the intercept try, and he held up Ben Earl over the line. England were 20-25 points better than Australia on the day, but they weren't on the scoreboard because of what this boy did. And I'm going for the wizard of Harry Potter of Australia. I'm ever so sorry.
Yeah, he was just magical. Gift.
I actually agree with Mike on this one. I think Harry Potter
What
that was just great awareness.
What's going on here?
grown folk are talking. Sasha Feinberg and Gom Zulu isn't.
Oh, yeah? Well, your mic has just been muted, okay? All right, smart guy? I'm going to bring you back now.
But that man is becoming a star. South Africa, I know you guys are the kings of rugby right now, but you guys need to find a way to lift this guy up above the rest. Like the way that Ilona found a way to do it outside of the U.S., Sasha Feinberg and Goma Zulu needs to have that same kind of effort because that dude is an absolute beast on every single level. So that being said, I'm going to give it to him.
I'm going to go with Sasha off FM as well. Sasha FM is our player of the week. Now let's move on to our next recurring segment. Give your favorite segment.
Grown ass man.
The candidates are Scotland's flanker making his debut, Liam McConnell, son of Steve Lewis's pal, Keith McConnell. He was a beast up and down the pitch. And as Mike Friday pointed out in the pre-production meeting, he was offloading like an NBA All-Star. Stuart McCloskey, the Ulsterman at center for Ireland. He was consistently physical on both sides of the ball with some punishing runs and big tackles, perhaps silencing the critics that had a problem with his selection. Beauden Barrett, New Zealand's number 10. Sometimes being a grown-ass man doesn't mean being dominant physically on the pitch, but maybe doing something that warrants the label otherwise. And that's just what Beauden Barrett did in the post-game interviews, basically saying that the red card to Tadhg Beirne was not the right call. It changed the complexion of the game, and he was gutted for Beirne. Mike, who's your grown-ass man?
I thought he had an outstanding debut. Liam McConnell, I mean, he was rampaging, he was hitting things, he was connecting, he was physical. He had a fabulous debut. And he was everywhere, and some of his offloading was excellent. And obviously, he's mate of Steve Lewis's as well. So that tips it for me. McConnell, grown-ass man on debut.
Gift.
I disagree with something you said. Being a grown-ass man does mean being physical on the field. I do not care what happens off the field.
Even what Caleb Jones said about you?
Okay, that you can be an honorable man. There you go. That'll put you in that position there. No, I got to go, honestly, in this one with McConnell as well, because he was one of the players that I saw U.S. players bouncing off of, and it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. So, shout out to him and being able to pull that one off and get that grown-ass man vote from me.
Well, I want to add something to Beauden Barrett because the press conferences were basically over, and all the Kiwis and the Irish press got in the way, and I basically didn't get a chance to ask him a question. And he lingered, and he stayed, and he let me ask him a question.
Getting a grown-ass man because he felt sorry for you.
Grown-ass man for giving you a question? Holy moly.
Yeah. He didn't have to.
You need to mute your mic. There we go.
All right, I'm back. I unmuted my mic. Mike says mute your mic, you mute your mic. All right. But with that, Liam McConnell.
This week's grown-ass man.
We're going to break for commercial. George is going to come in. He's going to vent. We'll come back with you guys for picks on the autumn tests after this.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
There's Jay Fishhook Rizzo. Jay, what do you have to say to the audience? Hi.
And we are back, and we're once again welcoming Mr. George Hook calling it from Dublin. George, how are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm not surprised at any of the results over the weekend because don't forget, England, Ireland and Scotland were all playing, so we got something to talk about. We are now looking at the worst red card in living memory. All right, I've never seen a decision as bad as this. What we are now looking at is referees who absolve themselves from all responsibility and hand it over. And remember this, the reason the guy is on the TV in the bunker is he's not good enough to be a referee. So the guy, no, this is a fact.
All right, okay. Maybe he's more technologically advanced. I don't know. But we do have to move on, though, and let's get to our recurring segment.
Headlines with Hook.
Did Scott Robertson outcoach Andy Farrell?
No. I mean, the first thing is Ireland played 20 minutes with 14 men. And astonishingly, after 20 minutes, they're in front. But the physical toll of those 20 minutes is incalculable. Now, the second thing is the current world rankings are South Africa 1, New Zealand 2, Ireland 3. So before the game starts, New Zealand are the favourites. It's on neutral territory, Chicago. They've already won New Zealand the last 2 occasions these teams have met. New Zealand have won. So this is not a surprise. There's no, despite your best efforts to find something deep and dodgy in the discussion here, there isn't. New Zealand were better. Ireland had a poor finish, and New Zealand won.
That begs the question that's asked in headline number 2. What would Hook have done?
Not a lot. We are astonishingly third in the world with the smallest rugby playing population on earth of the major nations. So we're punching above our weight. We're not panicking. There is no need to panic. If Hook would do something different, and this is your question, Hook wouldn't have picked a bunch of Irish players to go down to Australia for the Lions tour and get tired. And that is essentially what happened. We didn't play badly. Now, we had a rubbish line-out. Because we didn't have a line-out base, Sheehan, who scored more tries than Moses off the back of a maul after a line-out, didn't get an opportunity.
And the Beirne card caused them to shuffle the deck. And that had a big part of it, too.
Yeah, I think you and I, because you are one of the most fair-minded people I know, we've really got to wait until the end of this autumn series to see where Ireland are. And then you got to let me say it. Yeah,
I'm going to let you say it.
I can tell you this, that the Eagles of 1987 in Brisbane would not have conceded 13 tries and 85 points. What's going on? That's your question that you have to put to your experts.
Well, we'll put to the experts next week because we're out of time now, but I want to thank Mr. George Hook for coming on with our recurring segment,
Headlines with Hook.
Thank you, George.
Pleasure.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, gentlemen. Matt McCarthy from the Rugby Wrap-Up platform in New York City. It's great having you guys on American soil so we can see this level of rugby. Should there be a shot clock on the TMO?
Should we put a shot clock on the TMO? Let's do that, eh? You can do anything in America. I think it's a good point. And firstly, thanks for inviting us and welcoming us to a beautiful autumn week of weather, a beautiful city, real clean, we felt safe and really welcomed. And we can speed our game up a bit, eh? That'd be great. Thank you.
Was the width of the field ever a factor? Because Soldier Field's not regulation.
Yeah, it is narrow. I would say defence was slightly easier, but I think when everybody got tired there at the end, it kind of opened up a wee bit, but it was definitely narrower than we're used to.
It is eating season. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. At Health Enhanced Foods, we got 17 baking mixes to be able to help enhance your holiday meals. Whether you're gluten-free, you need ketogenic, whether you are low FODMAP, whatever your special dietary need is, we have a baking mix for you. Go to healthenhancedfoods.com. Go ahead and use coupon code Rugby Odds to be able to get 25% off your first order. Let's get this season going. And honestly, whatever Matt's about to say next, just ignore it. It's not even worth it.
And we are back. Let's go to the picks. Autumn Nation Series game, Ireland at home, minus 39.5 versus Japan. Mike.
I think Ireland have got a point to prove. They were a little bit blunt last week, but I think they'll kind of want to right or wrong. They didn't perform well in Chicago.
Gift.
There was an Irish joke that was inside there that I almost wanted to say, but I'm a pass. But note this, I think Ireland will also be able to cover this one. An angry Irishman is not one that you want. I still got it in that you want to go against right after. And Japan is definitely going to be going against a rowdy bunch in that one.
I'm going to go with Ireland. They got a lot to prove. They're not particularly fond of Eddie Jones either. So I think they're going to romp. Next one up, Scotland at home versus New Zealand. -7.5 New Zealand, road favorites. Mike.
This is tough, man, because the Scottish get their back line back. I mean, they get them all back. Ben White, Finn Russell, Tupulotu, Kinghorn.
Good lineup.
I just don't think they've got the full 80 minutes in the forwards. And I think I think it's an interesting spread. I think New Zealand to win and cover.
Gift.
Look, Scotland has always been the talented team, but they're the choke artists of choke artists. You know, talent, over-talented, under-executing. New Zealand is definitely going to cover this, even if it's in Scotland's home. And I think New Zealand covers this.
I'm going to go with Scotland to keep it within 7.5 points in a squeaky bum match. That's what I'm doing. England, -21.5 versus Fiji. Mike.
Yeah, I think England look good. I think that they let themselves down, or should I say Australians hung in there. They were 20-odd points better than Australia on the day. It just didn't happen for them. But I think there'll be a few changes. I think England are looking strong and good. Their bench was powerful. So England, yes, to definitely win and cover. This could be a big, big score.
Gift.
Fiji on the road, this far up north. Yeah, no, England's covering this leaps and bounds. Fiji does not stay traveling past Australia and play high level. I'm sorry. I love them to death, but no.
Not in November anyway. Not in November.
Not especially in November. Especially what?
See, again, no, I'm not going to disagree. I think Fiji's going to be house. It's going to be a huge lopsided loss, and England is going to be who wants to score now in the second half. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll come back with Italy versus Australia, France versus South Africa, and Wales versus Argentina, and our picks of the week after this. You need your cleats? You need them tomorrow? If you order today by 3 p.m. New York time or noon LA time, they can have them to you tomorrow. Young, old, male, female, if you're playing on turf, if you're playing on grass, if you're playing in the rain, you're playing in the heat, they've got you covered. RugbyNow.com. Go there now. Hey, U.S. fans, you can tune into every match live on Flow Rugby. How do we know that? Because we're on there all the time. And we're back. Mike, Italy versus Australia. Australia favorites by 15.5 on the road.
Yeah, and Australia will be stronger this week. Ikitau returns, Will Skelton returns, Hooper returns. So they get all of their Reg 9 boys in that are playing in the top 14 and the Premiership. And I think they will beat Italy. They'll be tight for 60, but they'll beat them they'll cover as well.
The athleticism in that backline for Australia compared to Italy overshadows them by leaps and bounds. So I'm looking at that 15.5. I do think Australia will cover that one.
Italy's got some great, gritty young players that have talent, and they got some home run hitters in that lineup. They even got a couple of flankers that can maybe score a try or two on you. But, Mike, you're right. Australia's getting some beef back. I mean, Skelton's a pack by himself. And I don't know if Italy has the size to match up against that, at least for 80 minutes. So I think it's going to be tight, but I think Australia covers that 15.5. France at home versus South Africa. South Africa in France as the favorites by 2.5, Mike.
I think this is going to be the game of the round. And I think France have the pack and they have the bench to contend with the South African bomb squad and pack. Yes, Sasha's playing, but I also think BL Barry is on fire. Penno is flying. Their centres are flying. Yes, no Dupont, but they've still got Luca. They've still got Legarec. They've got Entomac back. They've got Ramos. I think France win this.
Gift.
Yeah, this one is a close one.
It's your team, South Africa. You hate France.
Yeah, I do. But, I got to recognize, Petty when Petty exists. And France, I feel like France has been gunning for South Africa way back since the Rugby World Cup 2023. I know that's 2 years prior, but like they've been looking for a chance to get back. I still think South Africa is going to cover this one.
It's only 2.5 points.
So I think South Africa wins. I think France covers this. But France will get the spread within 2-point game.
Okay.
But I think South Africa gets the win because I think this is going to come down to kicks. Bet is towards France.
It's killing him to say that he's backing France. You just got to read between the lines.
Thank you. And I'm going to say that Thomas Ramos will be the difference maker in this match because it's a very even matchup between these two sides. They have size, they have speed, they have skill. Thomas Ramos is not in a Springbok uniform. He's in a French uniform. And I think that at home, they win. Finally, Wales versus Argentina. Argentina road favorites by 12.5, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Wales is in disarray still. I mean, they're in a world of pain, and it's his first up. And will he get a first test reaction as a new coach from the players? These RGs are a handful. They're all fit. They're all raring to go. Their pack is gnarly, proper gnarly, and they got decent backs. Their back three can hurt anybody. So I think Argentina will win this game and they'll cover.
Gift.
Argentina's going to take this one, but. That being said, if Luis Rees-Zammit is back in this lineup, I think this is a guy that can actually bring back physicality to Wales in a way that since he joined the NFL and came back, I think he's hits harder, runs harder, takes much more damage to his body in a way, which it might have injured him a little bit before, but I think he's got a different sense of it now. That being said, I still think Argentina covers this game at 12.5. I think Argentina is just way more talented across the board. And their pack is just way heavier than
I don't know. The Welsh have some of those blood and gut flankers and back row players that punch above their weight. You know, you got a lot of young players on that don't in that lineup that don't know any better. 12.5 points. That's a lot of points on the road at Principality Stadium. I think Wales covers. I don't think they lose by that amount. They will lose, but not by that amount, which is what makes a Welsh fan a Welsh fan. They deal with disappointment all the time. It's now John's favorite segment, Picks of the Week, Johnny. Mike Friday, who do you like?
Ooh, I think we're going to see a rout at Twickenham. So I'm going to go for a 10-try frenzy.
Ooh. Wow. So your bet is 10 tries or more or the over?
I'll go for the over.
Smart man. Gift.
Yeah, I'm going with for my Autumn Nations picks, away team going 4-2 on the weekend.
Okay, so you're picking road winners.
Road to win 4 games, lose 2.
All right, I think the Ireland versus Japan match will be over 55 points total. And on that note, we are out of time. I want to thank Caleb Jones for setting us straight on King Gift Egbelu and John Layfield.
The lies and deceit. This is why you can't trust nobody from Memphis. No.
John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer, turned rugby advocate. King Gift Egbelu, the inventor of words and rugby playing. Mike Friday, the 3-time Olympic sevens coach, and George Hook, the Irish rugby legend. Thank you for tuning in. Please check out MLR Weekly. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Sign up for our weekly newsletter, and please join our American Red Cross Blood Donor Team.